Great. So I've been given the task of building and tuning Approach the Second Sun today. I should ping Discord. Sorry. Let's do that. All right. So this first shell, as someone just pointed out in chat, this is basically a core similar to the old Teamerscape Shift decks. And the old Teamerscape Shift decks were basically blue-green control ramp decks that just like played Valakut and a bunch of mountains because that was how you killed them with Scape Shift. So instead of like messing our mana base up with a bunch of red lands that we have to play, I've instead put in a bunch of good white control cards in our deck and some sideboard cards so we could like hopefully win the game eventually with Approach the Second Sun. And Approach the Second Sun, to a degree, is even, you know, like a control card, right? Like Gain 7 can buy you Eternal a lot of the time. I'm here for the beams, not the magic. I can't wait to see the garbage fire Justin has lined up. So, at least to start, Justin has told me that I should build some Approach the Second Sun deck. So we're gonna start with one of these and see how it goes. Let's see how this feels. Happy birthday to our holy king, and let's get ready for this dumpster fire stream. Thank you for the bits stream. So, we'll see. We'll see. I was a big fan. I was a big fan of Teamerscape Shift back in the day, and just like a control deck without hard answers is pretty medium. So, getting to play like we're basically playing a combo control deck, right? We've got some ramp elements to like get to our more expensive cards a little bit faster, but at the core, this is a combo control deck. Blue-white Approach Tron. That's actually probably not a bad idea. Should we build, like, we could build green-white Tron Approach or blue-white Tron. We could build, like, a Gifts Approach Tron deck. Gifts Tron should, or Approach Tron should probably happen at some point. When's my birthday? My birthday's in January. Stream Decker, yep. And that used to be on this early on Tuesday. Alright, Stream Decker should be good to go. Sand's great. Never mulligan, turn 1, search for tomorrow. Sand's actually like really good, right? We've got turn 1, search for tomorrow, turn 2, search for Azcanta. Skred. This deck's probably actually pretty good against Skred, our Blood Moon, because not only do we have a lot of basics, but we've got a lot of ways to find those basic lands. This deck search for the Sun Tribal. Yeah, basically. Alright, so I'm going to go land, search for Azcanta here. They're going to get to tick this up to kill it, but I think that's fine. We'll still get a couple activations out of it. Get to thin through some bad cards here. Sure, you have a relic. Search is really not going to be good. Oh, I stacked these wrong. That's loose. Well, I don't want to draw another search. Maybe I did actually want to draw another search. But I should have stacked these in the other direction, right? Because this is going to cast and shuffle my deck. So we're going to grab a basic island here. Perfect. We drew another basic island. That's actually pretty good for us. Because now I get to go ahead and do this. And cast this search for a basic plains here. I guess it's possible I should have like held up Cryptic Command this turn, but I like just kind of casting my spells ASAP. I'm gonna make a note about Approach Tron. Actually seems like a sweet idea. All right. Well, punished for not holding up Cryptic Command. Varric's Bladewing. It was kicked. That card's sweet. Turn 3 approach sounds good. Yeah, that would be sweet, right? Justin with the $250 donation. $20 for each 3-2 or better. Sounds good. Sounds good. Blood Moon. I actually just don't care about this, right? This is just going to be like end step on Summon the Chandra. Pick it up. Oh no, I don't get to scry anymore. That's sad. Alright, let's start with this. See where we get. Gross. Alright, Steve-O. Let's do it. I do have double white cards in my deck, so I guess I'm gonna go fetch a basic Planesseer. I thought about Sunbird Invocation, but I think it's just too slow for Modern. Horn and Anoronyx. Sounds good, Nivik. I have 2 more basics in my deck. So hitting a little bit of ramp deck problems here. Thankfully, their deck's kind of just flopping around. They do have the Chandra in their hand at some point. Search is great. Even though we're not going to be able to flip it with the Blood Moon, we are going to be able to kind of filter the top cards of our deck now. Chat, the cult invites you to sign on to Moto and defeat Jeff. Each 2-0 gets you a playmat, and anytime you make Jeff restart the game with card, I'm buying you a free deck in the queue. Not sure what today is, but I'm packing up in an hour to fly home. Well, I'll still be here, Anoronyx. We're in for 12 hours today. Anamoine, thank you for the 7-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. No, I'm going to draw the Opt. That gives us an extra look if we draw it. Well, that did not go as planned. Hopefully we can find an approach before this Chandra kills us. I assume we're going to start getting Dragon tiered ASAP. That's a Storm Breath. Can't kill that one. Yep. Nope, don't transform. Brooch! There actually aren't any basic lands left in our deck, and we're dead to the Stormbreath Dragon. That's sad. Man, that was rough. Alright, I probably want this Verdict and this D-Sphere. I guess Negate actually seems pretty okay. No, I mean, not really. That game was just rough because I had, you know, what, like 4 spells and however many cards. We are playing 33 lands, though, basically. So, thanks for the memes and the dreams. Keep on keeping on. Draven, thank you for the 8-month resubscription and welcome back. I appreciate it. So, how many sweepers and paths do I want to keep in? How long am I going for today? We're doing 12 hours today. I miss dropping big bits. Maybe I'll have to get back into it. Thank you for the bits, Project Swap. I appreciate it. I think I want to trim. Because, like, the Wraths are good at cleaning up Stormbreath Dragon, even though we have to take a hit from them. I think I'm going to cut 2 paths. I guess I'm going to trim a Snapcaster Mage because snapping Cryptic's really hard if we're under Blood Moon. Seems okay. Needs some blue mana. I will keep a search for Azcanta. Unfortunately, we just have to rescry this to the top, but I definitely want to keep a search here. I think getting to triple blue shouldn't be that difficult. Cyclonic Rift is pretty narrow. I think the way people make decks, like the reason why brews often fail to be successful in a format like Modern is because people try and put too much cute shit in them. Just like play good cards in your deck. You could do something sweet like playing Approach the second time, but just like don't play a bunch of bad cards in your deck. Just don't do it. Like, we have 3 basics, we have 5 fetches, and we have 8 ways to find basic lands. Dragon Horde. That's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna D-sphere the crap out of that one. No, I'll keep that because I can go this into fetch basic island, D-sphere this. I can still cast this. Yep, yeah, I definitely can, Justin. Nah, Rowanus isn't an individually powerful threat. You don't want to play synergy cards in the green-black deck. The reason why the green-black deck is good is because it plays a collection of individually powerful cards. Little did I know we were going to miss value. Well, I guess if it was good last turn. Binning anything that's on a land here, basically. I'm more of a dog person. Although I haven't had any pets for a long time. I grew up with dogs, but I don't have any currently. I'm going to bin Steve here. Hope to just hit a land naturally. Well, we have our win condition at least now. Yep. I'm gonna bin this, just trying to find the natural land drop here. So I don't know if I want a Wrath here or not. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass. I think Nimble Obstructionist is a great control card. Next time we play traditional blue-white control on stream, it's gonna have 3. It's gonna have 3 Stifle Birds in it. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this hit, I think. Project Swamp taking the lead on that leaderboard. Thank you very much for the absurd bits. You the best. Hope you had a good summer. I think I need to counter this at this point. Kind of surprised they left that in, but honestly, there's probably a good chance they just like don't have the cards to take out. No, actually, that can stay right there. Let's do this. Scry. I'm gonna bottom that because I can snap this other verdict should the need arise. Try and get to our 7th land next turn for the approach, ideally. Thunder Daddy, yep. I usually only get to watch the YouTube videos. It's nice to finally catch a stream. Thanks for the content. Here's some biddies. Thank you, Melbot. I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Welcome to a live one. Alright, that's a breeding pool. If I shock this in, I'm going to end up at 11. I think that's fine. There's a non-zero chance we die here, but we also like set ourselves up to best win the game, I think, this way. Alright, going to 2. You have Bolt. Yeah, of course you have Bolt. Unfortunate. Yeah, Stormbreath Dragon just like uniquely good against what we're doing, obviously. And to make some medium plays in the beginning. That game was kind of a good example of why the 4-mana sweepers are kind of awkward, I think, and why we're going to be playing some Terminuses in the league after this. I wanted to try the 4-mana sweepers to see if they still felt awkward with the 8 ramp spells, but I'm kind of not surprised that they do. Just the fact that, like, in order to clear the board, you have to tap out, which then gives your opponent another chance to reestablish the board is a big deal. So basically, to catch up, you then have to give your opponent a chance to let you fall behind again. I think Settle the Wreckage is a pretty medium card overall. I think I'd rather just play Terminus. I think Settle the Wreckage experiences a lot of the same issues that the Supreme Verdicts does, but it's also just more medium in other spots too because it telegraphs that you have it a lot of the time. And a $10 donation there. Thanks for the great content and all the time out. Thank you, Dimples, for the support. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep this. Double Approach, like, is a little bit awkward, but I've got turn 1 Search, turn 2 Opt, so let's do it. Ooh, the Hallowed Fountain Mirror Match. Bub Jinx, thank you very much for the 3-month resubscription there. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. I'm just going to get Breeding Pool here. My opponent is likely playing a bunch of Field of Runes and stuff, so I'd like to keep my basics in my deck. Yeah, and actually, you know, having both of these in our hand against in a control mirror is probably pretty good for us. Morning, Zanman. In the market for all the lands at this point. Morning, Tinny. Pyromancer's Ascension version. That works, doesn't it? Because the copy... No, and you've cast another spell. No, Ascension doesn't work, right? Pyromancer Ascension doesn't copy. A Pyromancer Ascension doesn't cast the card. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may put a quest counter. You may copy that spell. Yeah, it doesn't work. The copy wasn't cast, though. This explicitly says if the spell was cast from your hand and you've cast another spell named Approach the Second Sun. So the copy isn't cast. So the copy would resolve and you'd gain 7, but the second one, no. So it's not the cast from your hand that matters because Pyromancer's Ascension puts the second copy on the stack. And the one you cast from your hand would resolve second. The issue is that the copy wasn't cast. And the explicit condition for this card was that the copy needed to be cast as well. So it's a really important detail. No, you never cast a copy, correct. Alright, so they have a Cryptic Command as well. I'd love a Snapcaster Mage. It does technically it kind of combos with 3-man, doesn't it? Cast Stevo here. I don't think, like I said, they shocked for this to represent Cryptic Command, but I think like Steve's not a card that they want a Cryptic Command. Yeah, I'm aware of Sunbird's Invocation. I think that's too expensive for Modern. Maybe if we get slaughtered with all of these builds, we will try a red white build at some point. Yes, but read. Okay, Craig, I explained it already. Just like go read Approach the Second Sun. At Rev, you also don't understand if Pyromancer's Ascension cast the copy, it would work because the Approach the Second Sun that you cast from your hand resolves second. So the second one is cast from your hand, the way magic and triggers work. Yeah, we're gonna try a Tron build at some point today. We're gonna try a Tron build at some point today. I've got 12 hours to try different things. I mean, to be fair, this, like, isn't actually that complicated if you just, like, read the cards instead. I'm sure there's a bunch of people in chat that are just, like, assuming they know what the text box of these cards are, and, like, they clearly don't know what the text box of these cards are. How much was the stream? To cut in front of everything else, it's a minimum of $100 per league. For other people that are thinking they might want to buy the stream out for the day, it's a minimum of $100 a league to cut in front of it. How many leagues are we talking today? 10? I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how well or how not well the decks are going. And the first approach doesn't even actually have to resolve here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slam this one into open counter magic, obviously. Like, I don't care if this resolves. It's the second one I need to resolve. Look, $100 a league comes out to a minimum of, you know, $50 an hour. I'm cool making $50 an hour if people want to buy the stream out in the future. So I assume they're going to take our second approach away here. Unless they think they can just fight it with counter magic. Is this as bad as Lantern Day? No, I think these decks are actually kind of neat. Like, this deck has a very clear way to win the game. We're playing a combo control deck. It's different than the other combo control decks we've played in the past, but this is very much a combo control deck. This is a good line from the opponent, just like getting super aggressive here. I like it. I'm actually going to cast Search from Tomorrow here. I think, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then grab a Forest, and then just, like, plan to, like, Cryptic tap their guys at this turn, I think. Lots of Teamer mid-range with Savage Knuckleblade, God bless. I guess I'm gonna let this happen and then bounce it. Oh, that lets them click me again. Yeah, maybe this is loose. Upkeep, tap, bounce, colonnade. Well, they have 2 colonnades, so tap, bounce, colonnade doesn't really accomplish anything. That's why I didn't do it. If they only had 1 colonnade, that might be an okay line, but I think because they have 2, that's just like, that line's really bad. Alright, let us keep all our cards here. I'm gonna start with Search for Azcanta. Wrath this click. I'm going to cast the Sakura-Tribe Elder. I'm going to go ahead and sack this before I play my Scryland here. Correct. Approach has to resolve before it'll be put back in your deck. Approach putting itself back in your deck is part of it resolving. Alright, well, might be in a little bit of trouble, chat. The way they attacked last time implied they have a 2-mana counterspell. We do, Nivik. If they have a land up here, they can actually hold up Cryptic Command too. That being said, I am going to get a Search flip this turn, which is nice. Detention Sphere. I'm going to bin that and transform. That was a good draw. That was a good draw. So if I do this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have exactly 7 left. If I slam it, I'm guaranteed dead if they have a counterspell. And they've played this game like they have a counterspell. Well, if I chat, I'm dead. If I cast the approach, I only have 4 mana left. Logic not concurrently counter unless I pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can't pay 6. The Misty Rainforest doesn't do anything, I'm at 1. I think the correct play is to look with Azcanta here. No, not necessarily Dimir Spy, because if their counter is Logic Knot, they'd have to tap the Colonnade to cast the Logic Knot, and then they can't cast it. So that's the difference. Sure, I should have cast the spell. I should have made them put their counterspell in the stack. Like, they clicked us twice, chat, and left the approach there. I was saving myself a couple of clicks. I get it. You like to waste time, but I clicked them twice, and they clicked me twice, and they left it there both times. So, it was not resolving. I think I'm actually gonna cut... It is literally on my website in a playlist, Prospero. It is literally on my website in a playlist. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim the Steves and just, like, move into this mid-range plan. Trimming Steve seemed fine because it means we flood out a little bit less. Path kills their threats and their creature lands. I'm not trim a Cryptic. Cryptic's kind of expensive. Let's do this. No, my deck wants to make a bunch of land drops. I'm not cutting a land. No, Noxious Revival's pretty bad. Don't play bad cards. Just put playable cards in your deck. Maybe I want the Thragtusk. I don't know. No, they clicked us twice. They took my Snapcaster Mage and they took nothing. Or they took a path. They took a path of my Snapcaster Mage. Lumberjack, thank you for the 4-month resubscription there. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for the third of the year. No, we're gonna try a couple different approaches to the card. What are my favorite basics? I actually really like these Zendikar basics that I play with online. Pretty big fan. Stand up for a bit. My legs are getting cramped. Ugh. You boarded in Rest in Peace. Sure. I guess that resolves. I think I'm just gonna leave them all these cards. They can't cast the Logic Knot. I have a path for the Baneslayer. I have pressure for the Jace. Yeah, Rest in Peace Logic Knot. Just good. Good, clean deck building right there. Like, honestly, I don't think Rest in Peace Logic Knot is strictly bad. I think those cards tend to be good in different matchups. I think the actual thing that's bad here is that my opponent brought in Rest in Peace and what is basically a pseudo mirror match for them. Like, we have, like, some of the details of what we're doing are a little bit different, but, like, this is basically a mirror, and, like, they've boarded in Rest in Peace and a blue-white control mirror. I'm gonna bin that. Maybe this Jace could potentially take over. Like, they can play Jace and unsummon this, I guess, but I just like to replay it and make another clue next turn. That seems fine for us. I wonder if they found a way to kill this tracker or not. I'm gonna bin that. We've got plenty of lands to draw. We've got tracker, which is gonna let us draw extra lands at this point. I wish I could tell Moto not to have foil cards, because half the time Moto crashes, it's because there's a stupid foil on the screen. Again, for the record, I don't think playing Rest in Peace and blue-white control is bad. In fact, we have Rest in Peace in the deck that we're playing right now. I think what's bad here, it's not even the foil animation. I have the foil animation off. The foil cards are just still rendered differently. The foil animation is off. They still look differently and frequently crash the client. You can't make foil cards look like non-foil cards on Magic Online. That's not an option. Alright. He's gonna go away. We're gonna need to go find a land here. Having a bunch of basics in our deck is sweet. A match like this, that's for sure. Approach the second sun. Nope. I would love to draw that one. Do this and pass here, I think. Or do I want to just jam approach? No, I really don't want to jam approach and then give them window to play Jace at the moment. No, there's not a reason to opt pre-shuffle. You're right. That should be done post-shuffle. There's a difference between Relic and Rest in Peace. Like, Relic is a flexible card. I wonder if they still have Snapcaster Mages in their deck. They have Negate, Logic Knot, Baneslayer, Angel. I think I actually just let them keep all of these and then just, like, kill them with this click, huh? I feel like I just, like, yeah, you can keep those. Yeah, I don't want to draw another land yet. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I actually just had another one on top. Yeah, we're going to try it in a Tron shell later today, for sure. Tron is on the list of shells we're going to try. I don't have that one built yet, but we're going to try it. Gristlebrand's 4 black, so I think that's probably not worth playing in a Tron shell. They did just cut me off of my 4th blue source here, which kind of sucks because it means that I can't negate plus cryptic this turn. All right, we're back to 4 blue. Do not want to search for tomorrow. Yeah, I don't mind drawing a breeding pool, though. It's fine. 5th blue is decent. Oh, you know what? I probably should have shocked this breeding pool in, because shocking the breeding pool in would mean that I can pay for Logic Knot better, because I know they have Logic Knot. Okay, so they have Negate, Logic Knot, Jace. How do I want to fight over this? I think I want to just Cryptic this, because I kind of want the Path to Exile to deal with the Celestial Colonnade. So they have Logic Knot, Jace left, and obviously Logic Knot is not very good here. That's the last basic in my deck. Nope. Nope, I will take that one. Whoop. I didn't want a path because I wanted to save the path to deal with Celestial Colonnade. That's what it came down to. So now, okay, they're brainstorming, which means my click can kill Jace. Their Logic Knot is a really bad miscalculation at the moment because they have Rest in Peace in play. Now it's bad mana leak. And like, even if they have a way to counter this approach the second sun here, like I'm working towards the next one that went back into my deck, right? So there's a chance the Jace found them a counter spell, but we're definitely just jamming this here. Because we beat Logic Knot. Alright, Major Cryptic, sure. I'm not casting this because I don't have another basic in my deck. I only have 8. They can field us off the approach. You are correct. That being said, like, there's 2 approaches in our 32 card deck right now, so we've got a good chance of that being decent. Slivers on the no-fly list because it's really bad and people ask for it pretty often. I don't enjoy playing decks that are that bad that often. Need to tap blue mana here so they can activate Colonnade. Get this out of here. Their last card. I guess I don't know what their last card is. Their last card is likely Logic Knot, but it's not guaranteed to be. Now, this is dangerous because now they know their last Field of Ruin is a wasteland. They know we only have 8 basics. You know, I wonder... Maybe for game 3, I want to bring Steve in instead of Search for Tomorrow, because, like, if I had a 1-1 here, it'd be lethal, right? So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put Steve in instead of Search for Tomorrow. Nope. I feel like I'm pretty confident they still have the Logic Knot in hand. That being said, like, something's getting knotted at some point, so, like, it might as well be this. I have another approach in my deck. Okay. Getting a Cryptic with that is pretty decent for us, I think. All right. That. All right. Path and approach. 2 shots at him. That'll also do, pig. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put Tribe Elder in. Honestly, maybe I just want this Thragtusk too, just for the full mid-range plan. Like, applying pressure to them. Like, we're basically just, like, forcing them to act on 2 different axes by doing this, which is nice. Board and rip, right? No, I think part of the reason we won that game is because our opponent ripped us. Although I guess, like, we didn't flip search because of rip, but I think it's Temporal Mastery and Blue-White Control. I think Blue-White Control can't really afford to have that many more clunky cards in it. There's so many fields, I just, like, want less ramp in this matchup. Having 2 basics in our opener kind of sucks. Tracker's pretty good, though. Azcanta's very, very reasonable into rip still. Yeah, it's possible that I just, like, want the 4th Cryptic instead of the 3rd Steve. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's better. Not good, but better. So Justin hasn't actually submitted any of the decks for today. He's given me the deck building challenge of trying to build and approach the Second Sun deck. So I will be the one picking all of the cards for today, but they all have to include Approach the Second Sun. I'll be building the decks for today, but they have to include Approach. Yeah, the fact that they got searched down unmolested here is pretty bad for us. Just like... Can't interact with that. They're gonna have like Negate and Logic Knot up here to like prevent our Detention Sphere from working. I played the D-Sphere out here because it could have potentially eaten a Logic Knot out of the opponent, which can, in the future, clear a way for Tracker to get through. I'm definitely just jamming Tracker here because I don't want to play Tracker into open Cryptic mana if I can avoid it. I think Sunbird's Invocation is probably too slow for Modern, but if the rest of these decks go poorly, we might make it that far. Depends on if we find any that feel good in the middle. All of y'all are my boss. Unlike a lot of Twitch channels, the people that support my stuff here, they get to dictate what we do. This channel is viewer driven, viewer focused content. So I can opt, snap opt here. I'm going to start with opt and see what we find. I actually don't have a Boseiju. Maybe that's a mistake. Boseiju's really interesting. Take their snap here. I'm bottom of land for now. As foretold is interesting. I'm gonna make a note of that. That could be okay. We could play Ancestral Vision with As Foretold as well. We're probably just gonna get buried by this Jace. Yeah, if we're gonna be playing map anyway, Boseiju seems great in the Patron version. Sunbird's Approach, I'm pretty confident is just too much mana. So, it's not just about casting. What you have to remember, Lost Lurgoyf, is that, like, a lot of these decks, that's why I'm not trying to, like, build a deck that turbos into Approach and that's all it does. Because that's definitely a recipe for failure. What I'm trying to do is build a combo control deck that just, like, control decks in Modern want to get to 7 land anyways. And when you cast Approach the Second Sun, it gives you health to get further into the game. So, Scape Shift is a similar idea, but Scape Shift isn't free. Scape Shift requires you to play a bunch of red lands and Valakuts that just, frankly, aren't very good. I've played a lot of Scape Shift. There's a reason why blue-based Scape Shift decks aren't good in Modern right now. They don't get to play good interaction because red removal is really bad. Getting to play Path to Exile and Supreme Verdict is much better than playing, like, Lightning Bolts and Anger of the Gods against a majority of the Modern field. Fog decks aren't very good in Modern in general. There's just too many decks that win by not attacking. I don't understand what the appeal of a fog deck is. Just again, like that this is the same deck building rules, and this is, again, today will probably be good lessons in, like, trying to work through a new idea, whether it may or may not be good, and that you need to apply good deck building principles even when you're trying to work with something new and outside the box. The reason why so many new decks and brews fail is because people shove a bunch of really bad Magic cards into them. Just, like, put good Magic cards in your deck, chat. Don't put a bunch of bad cards in them. Yeah. The problem is that, like, people want to put, while Approach may or may not be good, it's definitely not going to be good when you stack a bunch of really terrible cards on top of it into your deck. Like, If you want to buy the stream all day, it's a minimum of $100 per league. That's the cut the line rate. No, today is going to be all approach the second sun decks, JMP. When iterations aren't successful, we're going to move on and try other iterations, but we're going to try a few different things. We will probably play somewhere between 6 and a dozen leagues today. Yeah, basically the answer we're trying to solve is, can we build a control deck of some sort where approach the second sun is a reasonable finisher? That's the question that we're trying to ask ourselves. We don't want to ask other questions on top of that, like, can we put 7 or 8 other random unplayable cards in the deck? Like, the answer is, can we build a control deck that wants to control the game in Modern to a point where it's able to win with approach the second sun? Yeah, maybe green-white Tron. We're definitely going to try a white Tron variation. The question is what we want the other color to be. Do we want green to be the secondary color, or do we want blue to be the secondary color? I feel like if we build green-white Tron with approach the second sun, we're probably just building a worse green Tron deck. So I'm more inclined to try and build blue-white Tron with approach. Yeah, I think As Foretold is actually a really good idea. Because As Foretold would allow us to eventually cast Approach the Second Sun without needing to tap out for it as well. So, Ensnaring Bridge, I feel like a lot of people take for granted that Ensnaring Bridge requires you to empty your hand to be good. So, like, trying to empty our hand in our deck with 7 mana sorceries is not going to happen. When you cut the video for YouTube, will the cuts include deck building portions? No, I'm going to include the deck building portions for today. And then we'll have a playlist at the end. I'll probably put the deck building portions into their own section, into their own video, so people can skip them or watch them as we go. Casting with As Foretold is a hand cast, the burper. You're still casting it from hand. You're just casting it from your hand using an alternative method to cast it. It doesn't say it had to be cast from your hand for mana. Yeah, and like I said, As Foretold would let us play Ancestral Visions as well, which is appealing. Yeah, you technically can cast Second Sun, remand it, and then recast the second turn to win the game. I think I'm actually in for a search here, right? I think I'm okay with that. We did not beat the control deck. It's modern, it's always shifting because people are mixing and matching. Okay, good magic cards once or twice a month. The weird sick deck comes out that people obsess over. Because, yeah, I mean, the power level of Modern by and large is very flat in Modern. The decks that are good are not that much better than the decks that are not good. That's a Zulu Port Cutthroat. Probably going to path that one. Yeah, probably going to path those. So we really want to draw an untapped land next turn so that we can go snap, search for tomorrow, plus play Path to Exile still. Weird if they didn't attack with this. Must have been a misclick, right? I'm going to keep that. I think that's fine. I'm going to bottom Steve. I'm going to play this Steve. I'm going to path Azula Port Cutthroat. Oh no, we're gonna lose our approach. Yeah, I have 2 plains, 3 islands, 3 forests in the deck. Yeah, they must have just misclicked on this. Go grab our third island here. Third blue source, I mean. First island, obviously. Looking for a land here. Cryptic Command. I'm actually really not in the market for Cryptic, right? Voice of Resurgent makes it pretty awkward. I'm in the market for a land, however. I'm going to snap Path now, which does expose us to another Tide Hollow Sculler, but I don't want to give them a voice token next turn. True, it is technically the second. Hallowed Fountain is for all intents and purposes an island. If they attack here, I'm going to trade with Cutthroat. Yep. That's pretty scary. This is like just one of like the many boards that Terminus is just so much better than Supreme Verdict on, right? I'm just going to take 3 here. Because there's a chance that they sack these Voice of Resurgences, and then Snapcaster Mage chump blocks Elemental for a lot more damage next turn. We're not guaranteed to win by any means here. So we get to go to 19. Night's Whisper isn't played in blue-black control variants because there aren't blue-black control variants in Modern. What blue-black control variants do you think are, like, supposed to be playing Night's Whisper that aren't playing Night's Whisper? That's not really an archetype in Modern. And even if it was, I think they probably wouldn't play the cards you're asking that they don't play because they don't have copious amounts of health total. Modern is a very aggressive format, and control decks already struggle to like have enough health. We won a game. I think we're on the scoreboard as far as games concerned. Yeah, we won 1 game against the control deck. We've not won a match yet. We're doing 12 hours of approach variants. We're trying to find an approach deck that feels competitive. Why would you rally before you sack your board? Why would you rally before you sack your board? Am I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now they can only deal 8 here. I'm going to bin this because it flips search for Azcanta. Path to Exile's not bad. Alright, so I get to go ahead and path the Willipore Cutthroat here. Which they'll probably sack to Viscerus here, but that's fine. So my approach is 5 cards down now. So if I activate Search for Azcanta, I'll draw approach next turn. So they can stare at the sun slowly rising over the fallen kingdom. Yeah, maybe they have a second rally. We're only taking 6 on this combat, so I think that's fine. I don't think I can beat the second rally, so I'm just going to let it happen. You should just let your opponent have fun playing their Magic deck. If they lose enough games, then if it isn't actually good, they'll lose enough games and maybe they'll want to move on. But if they're losing games and they're having fun, who cares what they're playing? Let your opponent play Magic in the way they enjoy playing Magic. It's your friend, sorry, not opponent. I guess your friend is probably your opponent a non-zero amount of the time. So, the way they've sequenced here actually gives us a chance to win the game. So now... Oh, I guess this doesn't work. I have to snap Negate, right? I could snap Cryptic. There isn't another Seer in the bin, but if I snap Path the Seer, they just get to re-Seer in response. Yeah, I think I just snap Cryptic here. And then, like, I have to draw Sweeper or another approach. Like, they're gonna get 4 voice tokens here, but, like, otherwise I die. They definitely should have done this at instant speed at my end step. Yeah, Azcanta makes blue mana. I guess they just wanted to do this on their turn because then I get voice tokens, but they definitely should have waited to see if I activated Azcanta at end of turn. Right on time, Path to Exile. No, we just need to draw another approach. Even Supreme Verdict is enough here, especially with the Path to Exile drawn. I have enough mana that I can Azcanta into the approach as well. Oh, they have a chord for Cutthroat? Okay, so it just didn't matter. So they were just, like, sequencing in a way to just, like, get us here. I do not, Admiral's bot. I have a couple built to start that I posted in the subs Discord, but we're going to be building some of them while we stream. Yeah, we can Path Seer here in response to a chord. Or in response to a return to the ranks. This is why this. Okay, now their sequencing makes a lot more sense. The fact that they had return to the ranks to follow it up makes sense. Morning, Shadows Fall. Yeah, Sweeper no longer an out. Need to draw a second approach. We know the approach that we've already cast is 5 cards down, so we just need like our second or third approach to be the top card here. Just confirm that we're dead. I'm gonna be done with this league. Let's move on to the next one. So to wrap here, I wasn't sure if this was going to be good. Something I've talked about with regular blue-white control decks recently is that I think not playing Terminus in your blue-white deck right now is basically a big no-no. There's so many spots where not only is Terminus, hey, Nerdstar, thanks for the 7 months and welcome back. Not only is Terminus a card that, like, gets you out of these weird situations where people are playing things that care about the graveyard deck, but it also is this weird situation where casting this 4-mana spell makes you lose a lot of tempo that then you can't catch back up for. So the next two builds I have here are Bant approach. Sorry, we have our Terminus builds of similar things. So I have a build here that's playing Terminus in a ramp style deck like we just played, and then I have another build that's playing Terminus in a more traditional blue-white control shell. So we're gonna move on to one of these next.